So he was in the country illegally, had been found guilty on a previous firearm offense, and managed to rise to the ranks of superintendent with a salary of over $250,000 a year. Holy crab apples. Viva Fry, former Montreal litigator turned current Florida rumbler in my home office, and if you haven't heard this story, it will blow your freaking mind. This is the story of a man who was in the country illegally after a certain point in time, we'll get to the details, was found guilty of a firearms-related offense a little while back, was determined to be illegal, was ordered for deportation, somehow not deported, and was found and arrested again with a loaded firearm in his possession. Des Moines School's superintendent, arrested by ICE, is placed on leave. School board in Iowa's capital made the decision one day after immigration officials accused the superintendent, Ian Roberts, of being in the country illegally. Being in the country illegally, this determination was made under the Biden administration, we'll get there, was found in possession of a loaded firearm when he was arrested in violation of a previous finding of criminality for being in possession of a firearm when he was not allowed to be in possession of a firearm, was ordered to be deported. All right, but he's been placed on administrative leave, but don't worry everybody, it's paid administrative leave. You wouldn't want to be too unfair to him. But first, the details of the story from the New York Times. And you know when the New York Times has to cover a story like this, they're doing it begrudgingly because this represents everything that was wrong with the Biden administration. Last week, school officials in Des Moines were celebrating improved marks on a state evaluation. The superintendent, Ian Roberts, who in 2 years on the job had already become a well-known figure in Iowa, said the report showed, quote, that we have the foundation of an outstanding school district that will continue to grow and improve, end quote. Holy sweet merciful hell. If this were an accused criminal on the right, they would be demonizing him from the headlines. Talk about lionizing their own criminals, because after all, he's a misunderstood poor illegal in possession of a firearm in violation of the law, but he was such a good superintendent in the 2 years that he was there. Days later, the Des Moines public school system was in disarray. Dr. Roberts was in the custody of federal immigration officials who asserted that he had been leading the school system while in the United States illegally. District officials were struggling to answer questions about their vetting process for hiring Dr. Roberts and straining to square the description of Dr. Roberts by immigration and customs enforcement officials with the man they knew. On Saturday, school board members voted 7-0 to place Dr. Roberts on paid administrative leave during a meeting that lasted less than 3 minutes. My understanding is that when he was arrested, he was yet again in possession of a loaded firearm, having been previously found guilty to be in possession of a loaded firearm. His excuse for why he was in possession of a loaded firearm, it's the excuse only a criminal would make. We'll get there in a second, but I hope I'm not making that up, that he was found in possession of a loaded firearm the second time around. From AI Overview, yes, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, reported Des Moines Public School Superintendent Ian Andre Roberts was arrested with a loaded handgun on September 26, 2025, along with $3,000 cash and a fixed blade hunting knife. The arrest occurred after Roberts allegedly fled police and abandoned his vehicle, and he was found to be an, quote, illegal alien, end quote, with a prior weapons charge and a final order of removal from May 2024. Holy crab apples, at least I'm not going crazy, but compare that AI Overview description of Ian Roberts and his arrest with the praiseworthy fluff piece coming out of the New York Crap Times. And now back to the New York Crap Times, that rag that has been on the wrong side of facts and history since its inception. Quote, I want to be clear, no one here was aware of any citizenship or immigration issues that Dr. Roberts may have been facing, end quote, said Jackie Norris, the school board chair, in a statement that she said she was reading on behalf of the board. Quote, the accusations ICE has made against Dr. Roberts are very serious, and we are taking them very seriously, end quote. Well, it's good to know that you're taking things that are serious very seriously. It almost sounds like a redundancy, but lo and behold, he was found to be illegal and I believe ordered to be deported in May of 2024. That was under the Biden administration. Why wasn't he deported? I don't know. Maybe go ask whoever was actually president during the Biden administration. Ms. Norris, who is running for a seat in the U.S. Senate as a Democrat, said Dr. Roberts had said he was a U.S. citizen on an Iowa application for a superintendent license. Board members declined to take questions from reporters. Don't you just love how the New York Times has to repeat the Dr. Roberts because you want to show deference to his whatever he got a PhD in when you're talking about an illegal alien who is twice in possession of a firearm in violation of the law with $3,000 cash while avoiding arrest. Yeah, make sure to call him Dr. Roberts in your fluff piece, New York Times. What would the treatment have been by the New York Times had this person been an alleged criminal on the conservative MAGA right? And then the New York Times goes on to basically paint an image of something out of a book. It's like they're writing fan fiction for illegal aliens in possession of firearms. The abrupt turn from optimism to chaos in the Des Moines school system started on Friday morning as word spread of a law enforcement search of the city's south side. The police radio crackled with word that ICE agents were seeking a man in a gray suit and pink shirt who had fled officers near a trailer park. Hours later, ICE would say that they had arrested Dr. Roberts, who was born in Guyana. ICE officials said Dr. Roberts had a deportation order, no authorization to work in the United States, and had faced weapon possession charges several years ago. And remember, because it's always Trump's fault, even if the deportation order was issued under Biden, but after all, he didn't follow through on it, it's always Trump's fault. And the New York Times, while making sure to refer to Mr. Roberts as Dr. Roberts each and every single time, will find a way to blame it on Trump. It would have been a shocking turn of events during any period, but the timing of Dr. Roberts' detention, in the midst of President Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration, contributed to heightened suspicion and tensions, with some residents protesting the superintendent's detention and some politicians describing it as proof of lawless immigration system. He should never have been anywhere around Iowa kids in the first place, end quote. Representative Ashley Hinson, an Iowa Republican, posted on social media. She said Dr. Roberts, quote, should be deported immediately, end quote. The fluff piece continues. We can skip over a bit of the article, but going back to Dr. Roberts' history, ICE had the following to say about him. ICE officials said Dr. Roberts, who had once competed in track and field at the Olympics for Guyana, entered the United States in 1999 on a student visa and had received a deportation order from an immigration judge in May 2024. Court documents corroborated some of ICE's descriptions. Pennsylvania records from 2021 and 2022 show that Dr. Roberts pleaded guilty after being charged with having a loaded firearm inside a vehicle. The incident, which took place during Dr. Roberts' stint leading the Mill Creek Township School District, became a local news story. Dr. Roberts said at the time that a state game warden had cited him while hunting in a wooded area. He said he was a licensed gun owner and had placed the weapon in his vehicle while speaking to the officer in an effort to make the warden feel safe. And wait until we get to the salary, because life is good in America when you're an illegal alien with a conviction for unlawful possession of a firearm working without authorization. Life is good, I tell you. $250,000 plus annually good. Dr. Roberts remained in custody at an Iowa jail on Saturday. Alfredo Parrish, a lawyer representing Dr. Roberts, said in a brief phone interview that he was in agreement with the district's decision to place the superintendent on leave with pay. Quote, we are still trying to get the facts accurate, end quote, Mr. Parrish said. In a statement, Sam Olson, an ICE field officer director, described the employment of Dr. Roberts as, quote, beyond comprehension, end quote, given a judge's order for his removal and a lack of work authorization. He described it as a situation that, quote, should alarm the parents of that school district, end quote. Des Moines public school officials said Dr. Roberts, whose base salary is about $286,000, had filled out forms at the time of his hiring that were intended to prove that he was allowed to work in the United States. The district noted that an outside consulting firm had been involved in the search that led to Dr. Roberts' hiring, and that a background check firm had looked into Dr. Roberts' past as part of the hiring process. Officials at the consulting firm did not respond to questions, and the president of the background check firm said that immigration-related issues were outside the purview of their review. Des Moines district officials said that they had been aware of the Pennsylvania gun case before Dr. Roberts was hired. So they didn't look into immigration status because that's beyond their purview. They knew that he had been found guilty of unlawful possession of a firearm, but they hired him nonetheless, and they didn't know. Everybody didn't know. It's just that this guy got to where he got and nobody knew anything, which is not any better than had they known and done it anyhow. In fact, some might say it's even worse. And with that said, have I asked you to subscribe and turn on notifications yet? If you're still watching now and you haven't done it, I don't know what I have to do to get you to do it, but please do it. Because as we say in the industry, YouTube is an asshole and not even recommending my own videos to my own subscribers when they have their notifications turned on. But with that said, if you like what I do, you know what to do. Most importantly, exercise, eat healthy, sunlight, talk to people in real life, and now you know your vlog. Peace out, peeps. Booyah!